Vivekananda was perturbed and was also shedding tears. Then, when asked for the reason, he told, I can hear the pain of so many people, the crying of so many people. I don't know why. I'm hearing that they are paining. I cannot bear their pain, so I can't withstand that pain, so I'm disturbed. So then they pacified him, made him to go to rest. The next day, there was the news report that there was a huge earthquake in Fiji Islands, in and around that area, and many people had died. And that pain and sound of that arthanada, while they were dying, the pain they were undergoing and the cries of those people could be heard by the motherly heart of Swami Vivekananda, thousands of kilometers away. So he could expand his heart to such a level that he could feel the pain of everyone. It was his own pain, and he prayed to the Lord, to the amelioration, to the reduction of the pain of all the living beings. What a wonderful statement of Swami Vivekananda is, I will come again and again, I will be reborn until even one small dog or an animal doesn't know that it is one with God. I'll be coming again and again, even if one dog in this world is hungry, to help that living being. So now you can see why we are thinking or studying or we are meditating on the glories of such a great soul who lived more than 150 or 160 years back. So now you can imagine the greatness of that soul. Going forward, let us see what Sri Ramakrishna used to tell about this great soul. Sri Ramakrishna, at the first meeting, instantly knew that Naren, that was the earlier name of Swami Vivekananda, Narendranath Datta. Naren was the one who was to carry Sri Ramakrishna's message to the world. So he understood that through his Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Sri Ramakrishna had seen this. On another occasion, Sri Ramakrishna saw in a vision a streak of light flash across the sky from Varanasi or Kashi, the place of Lord Shiva, towards Calcutta. In great joy, Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed, my prayers has been granted, and my man must come to me one day. To the devotees, once Master said, see how Naren beams with the light of Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Those who heard him say this looked upon Narendra with wonder. Not only was it strange that the Master should speak thus, it was still more strange that he should have seen such profound spirituality in that young boy. He asked Narendra, do you see a light before falling asleep? Asked Sri Ramakrishna, to which Narendra said, yes, sir, I see a light before I go to sleep. The Master cried, everything is tallying. He is Dhyana Siddha, an adept in meditation, even from his very birth. So, how was he Dhyana Siddha? Who is adept in meditation? Now, why did Sri Ramakrishna want Narendra to do his work? Couldn't Sri Ramakrishna himself fulfill his mission by doing his own work? Yes, let us see that. An incarnation constituted as he is of pure sattva. That is, sattva means light and wisdom, does not always have a widespread effect on humanity. He needs another personality with more rajas activity, who is capable of giving the ideas of that perfected one to the world. The inscrutable power which brings the Lord down from his high abode to take birth as an incarnation also projects a portion of him as a complementary being for the fulfillment of his mission. At the right time, the incarnation seeks him out and makes him the conduit for his gospel. The spiritual history of the world demonstrates the truth of this. Though having a number of disciples and devotees, Christ chose Peter as the rock on which to build his church. Sri Krishna chose Arjuna to give his wonderful message, the song divine, Bhagavad Gita, to the world. Lord Buddha had Ananda, his disciple, chief disciple. Gauranga, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had Nityananda, all giving further evidence of this phenomenon. For Sri Ramakrishna, Narendra played this complementary role. Now, before going to another beautiful vision of Sri Ramakrishna, let us sing a beautiful Namavali, a new Namavali on Swami Vivekananda. This short Namavali on Swami Vivekananda, which is very new even to me and definitely to you, goes like this. Vivekananda, Vivekananda. Viveka means discernment, discrimination between the real and the unreal, discrimination between the good and the bad, between God and that which is not God. That intelligence, that wonderful capacity of ours, which every one of us have in us, but we don't use it. Every one of you and me, everyone has it, but we don't use it. We have it in infinity, in abundance, but Vivekananda used it. That's why he got the epithet Viveka. He got who gets bliss, who gets joy in this power of Viveka, the discernment between the real and the unreal, separating the good and the bad, separating the God and that which is not God. That power is called Viveka. Ananda means one who gets bliss in that. Vivekananda. Sadguru Swami Vivekananda. Yeah, we know about Guru, but who is Sadguru? In English it is written as Sadguru. But when you pronounce in English, the speciality of English is it is aphonetical. So SAD can also mean sad. So is it Sad Guru? No, it's not Sad Guru. Sadguru means one who has realized the truth is Sadguru. Sat is, it comes from the word Sat, one who has meant truth, infinite existence, the truth. So one who has realized God, one who has realized the truth is called Sadguru. Sadguru Swami Vivekananda. Veer Sannyasi Vivekananda was courageous, who used to do wonderful feat and activity and great battles on the field of spiritual life. He was so active, he didn't care for his own selfish ends or life. He dedicated his life for the sake of others. So Veera Sannyasi Vivekananda. Then to such Vivekananda, Shata Pranama. Shata means hundreds of pranama. Prakarshena Rupena Namati. I bow down to him in a very high way, that is pranama. Namahakaraha Namaskaraha. Pranama is the word which we use for very, very seniors and elders. So in a very special way I bow down to him. Pranama. Shata means hundreds of times. Shata means 100. Shata Pranama Charanaravinda. Charana means feet, Aravinda means lotus. I bow down to his feet hundreds of times to that lotus feet, Charanaravinda. So simple song. Vivekananda, Vivekananda, repeat. Vivekananda, 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 Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, 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 Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Veera Sannyasi Vivekananda, Veera Sannyasi Vivekananda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Vivekananda, 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 Vivekananda. We'll increase the volume and also a little speed too. Vivekananda, 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 Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Swami Vivekananda. Veera Sannyasi Vivekananda, Veera Sannyasi Vivekananda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda, Shata Pranama Charanaravinda. Vivekananda, 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 Vivekananda. Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, Sadguru Swami Vivekananda, 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 Vivekananda. Sadguru Jai Jai, Shiva Guru Jai Jai, Sadguru Jai Jai, Viva Guru Jai Jai, Vivreshwara Jai, Vireshwara Jai, Nara Rushi Jai Jai, Nara Rushi Jai Jai, Sadguru Jai Jai, Shiva Guru 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 Jai Jai. Let us now hear the wonderful vision of Sri Ramakrishna, and with his own sacred lips, then it will be more interesting, isn't it? Sri Ramakrishna is narrating about his wonderful vision. One day, I saw that through Samadhi. What is Samadhi? It's one of the highest state of concentration of our mind. When we go on concentrating our mind in meditation, so when we get the peak of concentration, dhyana leading into dharana leading into dhyana, dhyana into samadhi, the highest state of concentration. So there you get so many wonderful visions and experiences of God. So there are so many varieties of samadhi too. The highest is nirvikalpa samadhi. Then there are bhava samadhi, so many if you go to Raja Yoga, you will see there the study of that, even that highest state of concentration, or at different levels, it is studied there. Now, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, through samadhi, my mind was going up by a luminous path, going beyond the gross world, studded with the sun, the moon, and the stars. My mind entered, first of all, into the subtle world of ideas. The more it began to ascend to subtler and subtler strata of the realm, the more did I see beautiful ideal forms of the deities existing on both sides of the path. It came gradually to the last extremity of that region. I saw a barrier of light there, separating the realm of the divisible from that of the indivisible. What is the Sanskrit word for that indivisible? Akhanda. Khanda means broken. Akhanda means infinite which cannot be broken. So that is akhanda. So you can tell in the English vocabulary as indivisible. I saw a barrier of light there, separating the realm of the divisible. Divisible is the one we see here. The Lord is divided here in the form of you, me, things, the building, the land, the water, everything. It is divisible. But there, the Lord, who is formless, attributeless, Nirakara, Nirguna, Parabrahma, indivisible. There is no division. There is no form. It is just consciousness and consciousness alone. It's pure light. It is pure bliss. It's pure existence. So, Swami, Sri Ramakrishna is telling my mind, gradually went to that last extremity of that region. I saw a barrier of light there, separating the realm of the divisible from that of the indivisible. Crossing from that divisible to the indivisible, leaping over it, the mind entered by degrees the realm of the indivisible. I saw that there was no more any person or thing there having a form. As if afraid to enter there, even the small letter gods, Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Varana, all those things. Even the gods and goddesses possessing heavenly bodies exercise their authority only over realms far, far below. But the very next moment, I saw 7 wise rishis. Now you may ask, where did the form come from? Not form, it was just light. 7 rishis. And again you see, having bodies, not the physical body, consisting of divine light only, pure consciousness. Seated there, they were also seated in samadhi, merged in the Parabrahman. They were one with the Parabrahman, the indivisible. I felt that in virtue and knowledge, that is knowledge of God, Brahmagnana, knowledge, love, that is devotion to God, bhakti, and renunciation, they had extolled even gods and goddesses, not to speak of human beings. Astonished, I was pondering over their greatness when I saw before me that a part of the homogeneous mass of light, which we call that consciousness, Parabrahman, Akhanda, that mass of consciousness, that mass of light, what happened to that? When I saw before me that a part of that homogeneous mass of light of the abode of the indivisible, devoid of slightest tinge of difference, became solidified and converted into the form of a divine child, coming down to one of those rishis, the Sapta Rishis, one of those Sapta Rishis sitting there, so that indivisible Parabrahman took the form, that light took the form of a child and coming towards those rishis and throwing its soft and delicate arms around his neck, the divine child embraced that Saptarishi, one of the Saptarishis, and afterwards, calling him with its ambrosial words, sweeter than the music of the veena, made great effort to wake him up from his samadhi. That one of the Saptarishis, he woke up at the delicate and loving touch and looked on at that wonderful child with half-shut ardhanimilita, half-shut eyes, free from winking, seeing his bright face the child's face full of delight at the sight of the child. I thought that the child was the treasure of that Saptarishi's heart. The Saptarishi in Samadhi was meditating on that Parabrahman. So that Parabrahman whom he was meditating had taken the form of that child. So that Saptarishi could understand. Here the mind of Sri Ramakrishna also is telling that, seeing that bright face full of delight at the sight of the child, I thought that the child was the treasure of his heart, and that their familiarity was a matter of not 1 or 2 days, eternity. The extraordinary divine child then expressed infinite joy and said to that Saptarishi, I am going, you must come with me. I am going down to this world as an avatara, you must come with me. The Rishi said nothing at that request. Many times when somebody talks to you, you will not tell anything, neither nod your head or tell yes or no. But the expression on your face, the smile on your face will indicate Maunam Sammati Lakshanam. Even silence is showing that you have agreed to that. If you have a popo face, that means you are not happy with that. But if you have a gentle smile, then that is showing agreement. Maunam Sammati Lakshanam. So seeing that face, the divine smile on that face of the Saptarishi, the extraordinary child, when he told, I am going down, you should come with me, the Rishi said nothing at that request, but his loving eyes expressed his hearty assent. Afterwards, looking on the child with loving eyes, again that Saptarishi entered Samadhi, into Samadhi. Astonished, I then saw that a part of the mind and body of that Rishi converted into the form of a bright light, came down to the earth along that luminous path, the reverse path. Hardly had I seen, now Ramakrishna is telling, hardly had I seen Narendra for the first time, then I knew that he was none other than that Rishi. So now you came to know who Swami Vivekananda was. On this special birth tithi of Sri Ramakrishna, of Swami Vivekananda, you have got the secret, the wonderful way Sri Ramakrishna himself is telling about his vision in that Samadhi. Isn't it so thrilling? Now let us see when he came back, or when he came here to this world, what is happening in and around that time. Whoever knows the longing of a mother that a son should be born to her enters into the world of that lady, Bhuvaneshwari Devi. Who is Bhuvaneshwari? Mother of Swami Vivekananda, Bhuvaneshwari Devi. And who was the husband of Bhuvaneshwari Devi? So she was the wife of Vishwanatha Datta. Though she had been blessed with motherhood at the early age, her first child, a son, and her second daughter had died in their childhood. Her next 3 children were all daughters. The medical science had not improved in those period during the British rule. The medical facility was very low, so child mortality was too much. All the children who would be born would not live. Even now that is true, but there are better facilities now. In those days, all the birth would happen in the house itself. No hospital, no special, what do you call this, pediatricians or the special doctors who help them to give birth. Nothing like that. Everything would happen in the house, home, atmosphere itself. So many children used to die. I have come to know in some of the villages there will be midwives. They are village women, uneducated. They help in giving birth. You know how that the birth time they cut the umbilical cord? No surgical knife or something. There will be a sharp stone which will be burnt for sterilization, and the umbilical cord is cut. Even now in some of the villages, they are the uneducated midwives who give birth. But the children will be strong, the mother will be strong, and so much of population you can see in India even now. So they will cut the umbilical cord with one stone, and all the village medicines will be used. Sterilization and other things will be done in their own way. So now, here, because her first two children had passed away, and the next three children were all daughters, Haramohini, Swarnamayi, and another was also died in the childhood. So she longed for a son to carry on the family tradition, to be the link forged out of the materials of love and suffering between the past and the future. It has been the practice of Hindu women down the ages to place their wants and complaints before the household deity. So whatever problems in India, even today, they go to their Ishta Devata, the deity which they worship. So here, even our Bhuvaneshwari Devi did the same. It has been the practice of Hindu women down the ages to place their wants and complaints before the household deity and to practice austerities. So they used to do fasting, giving up so many facilities, sleeping on the ground, taking cold water bath, doing the puja, getting up early in the morning. They used to do tapasya, austerities to have children. So such children who would be born out of tapasya, austerities, not by lust, but by austerity, after much tapasya praying to God, such children were called Aryans. The term Aryan is noble birth. It is not by just some group of people with some skin color or in the country born, they are called Aryans. The term Aryan is noble birth, who are born by the tapasya of the parents. Not like animals, not like lust, by the birth out of lust, but by the tapasya. They are called Aryans. Aryans means by noble birth. That is the meaning of Aryan. What? You should not take the word Aryan for that which represented by Hitler. The race whom he called the Germans were Aryans. No. That was given by Max Muller to confuse the people in India during the British rule with their idea of divide and rule. So Aryan means noble birth. See how the Indian mothers used to give birth, not like the animals, but by austerity, prayers. Then gods and goddesses would be born. Otherwise, great saints will be waiting to be born. If The children born out of lust, who are they coming? Tigers, foxes, bears will be waiting also. The criminals and other people will be waiting to get a birth. So, born out of lust will be such people, and they will trouble the parents. So now you can decide by your dint of nature, yes, whether we are Aryans of noble birth, born by the austerity, or you can change your life too by your activities. God has given us ample opportunities. So now, that is the Hindu practice. The Hindu women down the ages to place their wants and complaints before the household deity and to practice austerities like fasting, puja, getting up early in the morning, taking cold water baths, sleeping on the ground, while waiting to receive the blessings of the Lord. Thus, as Bhuvaneshwari Devi went about her daily task, she prayed silently that her desire might be fulfilled. Now, it was customary in those days, and to still is, for one in dire need or anxious that some special event should come to pass, to make offerings and sacrifices to Lord Shiva in Varanasi, Kashi. Those who lived a long distance from that holy city, the abode of Lord Shiva, could make their offerings through a relative or a friend who might be resident there in Kashi. Accordingly, Bhuvaneshwari Devi wrote to an old aunt of the Datta family who was living in Varanasi. Mother Bhuvaneshwari is in Calcutta, thousands of kilometers away. So, that old aunt of Bhuvaneshwari Devi, accordingly, Bhuvaneshwari Devi wrote a letter to an old aunt of the Datta family in Varanasi, asking her to make the necessary offerings and prayers to Vireshwara Shiva. One of the aspects of Lord Shiva, Vireshwara Shiva. That's why Narendra was named Vireshwara. The first name of Narendra was Vireshwara. That's how we got another nickname, Bile. Vireshwar, Bile. So Vireshwara Shiva, that a son might be born to her. It was arranged that on Monday is sacred for Lord Shiva, the aunt would offer worship to Vireshwara Shiva in Varanasi in Kashi, while Bhuvaneshwari Devi here in Calcutta at the same time would practice special austerities on those same days. It is said that by observing a vow of this sort for 1 year, see, to get one child, the austerity, she is performing puja, prayers for 1 year. One is blessed with a son. So that is the custom. If you want a son, if you do the austerities, worship Lord Shiva in this manner, then you will get a son. Thus, Bhuvaneshwari was content to wait in perfect assurance that her prayers would be answered. She spent her days in practicing japa, name of the Lord, and meditation on Lord Shiva. She observed fasts and intensified her austerities with many other practices, religious practices. Her whole soul, given over to constant recollectedness of the Lord, her heart fixed in love on Lord Shiva. Often did her mind go even in the mind to Varanasi, uniting in thought with the venerable aunt, as the latter poured the sacred Ganga water on the symbol of the Shiva Linga, or worshipped him with flowers and mantras. One night, when she was practicing austerity like this, one night, Bhuvaneshwari Devi had a vision, a vivid dream. She had spent a day in the shrine, and as evening deepened into night, she fell asleep. The whole household was hushed in silence and rest. Then in the highest heavens, the hour struck. The time had come for the pious woman to receive the special grace of Lord Shiva, Devadideva Mahadeva. In her dreams, she saw the Lord Shiva rouse himself from his meditation and take the form of a male child, who was to be her son. She awoke. Could this ocean of light in which she found herself bathed be but a dream? Shiva, 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 thou fulfillest in various ways the prayers of thy devotees. From the inmost soul of Bhuvaneshwari Devi, a joyous prayer welled up, for she was confident that her long months of supplication were over and that the vision was an announcement that her prayers were to be answered. Her faith was justified, for in due course a son was born to her. Now we shall glorify that Lord Shiva with one very small Namavali. This short Namavali of Lord Shiva is Shankara, Sadashiva, Sabhapate, Manohara. Shankara, Sadashiva, Sabhapate, Manohara. Chandrasekhara, Jatadhara, Uma Maheshwara. That's all. Very sweet and small. Shankara, Shankaroti iti Shankara. One who gives auspiciousness is Shankara. Sadashiva, always in that meditative or blissful Parabrahman mood of causing auspiciousness, Shiva, Sadashiva. Sabhapate, so that court where he stays and the people, the devotees around him, that is called Sabha. The court, Sabhapati is the Pati, the Lord of that. Manohara, Mana means mind, Hara means one who attracts, steals away our mind. Manohara. Chandrasekhara, he has a beautiful crescent moon on his head. Chandrasekhara. Jatadhara, he has long mats of hair, red locks of hair. Jatadhara. Uma Maheshwara. By his side, the Divine Mother Uma, the Durga, is sitting. See, with this short thing you can get the meditation of Lord Shiva. Beautiful. So we shall meditate on Lord Shiva, who is to be born now, as Vivekananda, as Narendra, Vireshwara Shiva. We will meditate on Shiva with this beautiful song. Shankara Sadashiva, Shankara Sadashiva, Sabhapate Manohara, Sabhapate Manohara. Chandrasekhara, Jatadhara, Uma Maheshwara. 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 little volume, little speed. Let us increase speed and volume and sing the same song on Lord Shiva, meditating more deeply and vigorously on Lord Shiva. Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Chandrasekhara Jatadhara Uma Maheshwara, 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 Chandrasekhara Jatadhara Uma. Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Shankara Sadashiva Sabhapate Manohara, Chandrasekhara Jatadhara Uma Maheshwara, 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 Chandrasekhara Jatadhara Uma Maheshwara. With just a little incident about the birth of Swami Vivekananda, we will close our today's musical discourse. The light of the world dawned for the first time upon the future Swami Vivekananda on Monday. So our calendar is not like the Gregorian calendar, it is the Tithi, the Nakshatra. So according to the Janma Tithi, Swami Vivekananda was born on Monday. Then in 1863 it was January 12th. It was the holy morning hour, 33 minutes and 33 seconds after 6, early morning 6. So 33 minutes, 33 seconds after 6. A few minutes before sunrise. At the time of his birth, the constellation Sirius was rising in the east. The moon was in the constellation Virgo. The planet Jupiter, that is Guru Graha, Jupiter was in the 11th house. And Saturn, Shani Graha, Saturn was in the 10th from that of his birth. It was the 7th day of the new moon, Krishna Saptami. So Vivekananda was born on the Saptami Tithi. Today will be the Saptami Tithi. So he was born on the Saptami Tithi, the 7th, Krishna Saptami, Krishna Paksha Saptami. And as chance would have it, the last day of the 9th Bengali month, Paush, known as Makara Sankranti Day, a great Hindu festival. Millions of men and women who are observing the festival unknowingly greeted that newborn baby with prayers and worship. They little knew that he had just been born, was to usher in a new age of glory for this country, India, not only to this country, India, but to the whole world, who was to reorganize the spiritual and national consciousness of India, who was to become a great apostle, a Saint Paul preaching unto the world another gospel of redemption, namely the message of Vedanta. And only a few miles north of Calcutta, in the garden of Dakshineshwar, a great seer, a great avatara was waiting for the coming of this babe, who was to grow into manhood to carry out his great work. The household members were surprised at the feature of this newborn baby. They believed that they resembled in many ways those of his grandfather Durga Prasad, who had renounced the world, and they had wondered if that monk had been born again. Thus, when the time came for a name to be given to the infant, there was much discussion. Some thought it should be Durga Prasad, but when they asked the mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, she looked into the depths of the child's eyes, and as if she would see into his very soul, there was a strange stillness for some moments. Then she turned to them and with much feeling said, "Let his name be Vireshwara. So shall he be called, because he was born from the prayers and puja to Vireshwara Shiva in Kashi. So let us name him as Vireshwara." Those who heard this were satisfied. They called the short name from Vireshwara became Vireshwara, then Bile for short. Later, he came to be called as Narendranatha or Narain. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanavastu. So let that wonderful great Lord Shiva give us that knowledge of the Parabrahman, devotion and renunciation to continue our spiritual life. So we will think and read and meditate on the life of Swami Vivekananda much more all through our life and get blessed.